leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer, the circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Load up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Laughter Saves Lives.
Live!
Here on Strong Island Television.
Right.
From Paradise Studios in beautiful
Oh, uptown,
downtown, midtown, Massapequa, New York.
And today's show is brought to us by the lawyers of the 9/11 community, Barasch
and
and
McGarry. Yes, they put them on the screen early today to remind us, Stunads, hey, you better say your sponsor or you'll have no money to continue.
Yes.
So, our sponsors are Barasch and McGarry. And you know, right after 9/11, always great to acknowledge Michael. Done so much for the 9/11 community.
Absolutely.
He's a good man, and he also bought a lot of Laughter Saves Lives T-shirts.
Well, then that's all
I mean,
really
can it be better?
matters.
That's all it really
end, right?
matters. Is all his employees, all the lawyers.
And count the T-shirts
Yes,
at the end.
yes, that's what's important. So
busy week.
You know, it was a obviously a rough week for you know, everybody in the New York community, but you know, losing 19 members of your firehouse on 9/11.
Very hard.
It's September 1st hits, and you start walking around in the fog. It hits me every year, and I start doing this, Richie. What am I going to do? What am I going to do on 9/11? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And I just get crazy. Mentally, I get lost. Really was looking forward to being with you tonight because I look so much forward to doing this show.
Isn't it fun?
We have fun, and that's what it's all about.
And what's amazing is like it flies by.
Well, for you, but I got to sit here with you for an hour. It really drags for me.
Yeah.
Drags. So,
so you're looking.
Oh, and I'm wearing the Squad 288 hat.
Look at that.
This is the company that's in my firehouse. They lost 9 guys on 9/11.
Wow.
So I decided to wear their hat tonight, but because of the lighting, I have to turn it around at times.
Look at that. You don't want to hide that face.
Very, very well-trained company, always drilling, good guys. So I stopped by the firehouse on 9/11.
Yes.
Which I haven't done in a few years.
Right.
And I'll tell you why I stopped by. Quick story is we went by after a comedy show. Who was with me? You weren't with me, but somebody was with me.
Pat?
I don't remember who was with me. And we were right by. If it's not you, I don't remember who it is. You know, well, it's Richie. Like comedy-wise, for me, it's Rich Walker, and then everybody else is down here. You know, it's like when you say comic, you say Walker.
So when you went by this firehouse, your old
haunting
grounds, right?
Yes.
Did they allow you in? Did they know who you were?
Well, I don't say my name because nobody knows me there, but I don't say my name because then they won't let me in.
Is it all new faces now?
It's all from it's 23 years since 9. Well, I left 8 years. What, 10 years ago? Oh my God.
Right.
2008. What did I leave? Anyway, no. There's none of the guys.
And they open
left.
up the little window and they go, "I'm sorry, you can't."
No. Well, here's how they open up the window with the firehouse. To everybody who comes, are you LaRocchia? That's what they say to everybody.
Are you LaRocchia?
Yeah, and
so what
everybody
is the
says
password?
No. The password is I'm not LaRocchia.
And come in.
Come in then. Come in. So anyway, I brought, and the guys there, the 2 guys that greeted me that night, were so nice, so welcoming. Because I hate going there.
Right.
I hate going there. You know, I lost all my guys there, and I hate going there.
Right.
And I started talking about the guys, and these 2 guys were riveted. They were really sincerely interested, asking me questions. And then they looked at me at one point and they said, "You know, John, we polish the plaques every week, and we dust off because we have plaques on the wall. The guys built this beautiful memorial, and he said we wipe it down every day, like, you know, just to let me know that they have this respect." So I looked at them and I said, "You know what? I haven't been here on 9/11 in a few years. I'm coming this year because of the way you guys made me feel." So I kept my word, and I went to the firehouse. And if you go to any firehouse in New York City on 9/11. If you're used to watching what you see on TV with the reading of the names,
right?
Okay, There's the bagpipes. There's, it's a beautiful ceremony.
Yeah.
The firehouse gives a very, how can I put it, basic, straightforward, I don't even call it a ceremony.
Right.
Where you go and you're talking, hanging out, go to attention. Everybody gets to attention, and they read when they give a moment of silence when the first plane hit.
Right.
Moment of silence, you break up. Second moment of silence, when the plane went down to Pennsylvania, So here's a picture which I'm so proud of being able to stand in my uniform with these heroes to honor these heroes. Here we are in the firehouse.
Oh, wow.
It's hard to pick me out. I'm in the second row, but that's not important. I didn't want to take a lot of pictures, but I took 2 pictures after that first one.
Right.
This one is with Josephine Smith. And I've spoke about Josephine Smith before. Her dad I worked with was lost on 9/11. She's the first female firefighter that lost a dad on 9/11 that became a firefighter.
Wow.
She is kick. I was going to say ass. I can't say ass. Kick butt.
You just did. Yeah.
And then, did I say it?
Yeah.
Then this is another picture. He lost his dad on 9/11. He was my captain, Captain Waters. This is Patrick Waters, who is a member of the FDNY now.
Look at that.
So I took a picture. Those are the only 3 pictures I took on that day.
Yeah.
I'm very, very honored to be with those kids. They're not kids, but the kids, and very honored to stand with the brothers and sisters there and salute and honor our guys. So it was an emotional day. So that being said, the pickleball season started Monday night.
Wait, we're not in our pickleball segment.
Well, we didn't do the pickleball segment yet. No. We're going to go into it in a second, Bobby. Not yet. So, Mark, who runs the pickleball league, said to me, "Oh, John, we're starting the next season on 9/11. I'm sorry, you probably can't come, And I thought about it long and hard, and I said, you know what? I'm honoring my guys in the morning. They would love for me to play pickleball with my daughter, with my family. It's a beautiful thing I can do with my 23-year-old daughter, because before and after pickleball, she doesn't tell anybody I'm her dad. She ignores me. She doesn't want anybody to know that this
Until
idiot.
You start winning the games.
Well, no. She just doesn't want anybody else to know that this idiot is her father.
Right.
So it's nice there because she has to recognize me. So we wore our memorial shirts. Can you see that on the camera, Richie?
Yep.
Can you see it?
In memory of never to be forgotten.
Right. So the 19 guys that we lost in the clouds, we wore the memorial shirt, and I was fired up to go 5-0 that night.
Right.
In memory of my guys. We went 2-3, got our ass kicked 3 times, but it was so we had a ball, and that's what I decided to do that night.
Maybe it was your guys that were making you lose that game. Let's knock John down.
I always say, my buddy Tommy Gardner, who we lost on 9/11, he's always with me. He wrote some jokes for me when I'm on stage. I always say this, right? You know the joke. I always say, and every time I'm on stage, I can feel Tommy talking to me and the strength he gives me. And tonight, I could hear Tommy saying, "You still suck." So
that's not how I told you to do the joke.
But I can do some jokes on my own. You can't rewrite my whole act.
No.
What? You don't need laughs all the time when you're doing comedy.
Yeah, that's one of the minor parts of it. You have to have fun and then go for laughs if they want to laugh.
Dude, is Jack? Can you see Jack in there now? All right, Jack's not here. Oh, let's do our pickleball segment. Let's do the pickleball segment.
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right. So we're doing our pickleball segment.
Yeah.
I just dropped everything. We added this segment because people told us you need to add something to the show.
Yes.
It really stinks. So I figured let's add the pickleball segment.
Right.
To get a minute of, filler. We went 2-3, like I said, but we're back next Monday night, and hopefully we can win some games.
Yes.
And Richie is on the
I would relish that.
Richie got hurt playing pickleball with me.
I still can't
5
recover.
minutes.
I'm still in physical therapy.
It was embarrassing. It was really embarrassing.
It was 10 minutes. I showed up, just to reiterate.
I said, call an ambulance. I don't know
I'm
this
like,
guy.
look at these guys.
Horrible
and
situation.
10 minutes in, ball hit over my head. I run back. I fall
down.
back on the elbow, pop the shoulder out.
We only had 3 people to play. Now it was sucky.
Your poor daughter had to fight them on her own.
So anyway,
yeah,
we're back to the pickleball season.
Yeah.
We want to honor my buddy Jack Clooney. He's not in, right? Hopefully he comes in, but we're gonna honor him right now. Jack was.
Well, let's
EMS?
skip Jack and let's go on.
Well, in case he doesn't come on. He may not come on. Jack was he struggled a lot as a child, different cancers, different issues, fought through it, and became a FDNY EMS.
Yeah.
Now he's going to go to medical school. He's one of my heroes. I'm only saying that because he's not on. Usually I call him numbnuts.
He's amazing.
He's amazing. And 10 years remission. Show his little thing that Butch made up. We love you, buddy. We're so proud of you. And we'll see you on the next Laughter Saves Lives show. We like to put him on.
Yeah.
Well, we need somebody who will open up the show so that the rest of us look funnier.
Yeah.
So we put Jack up there to do his sucky act. And
or maybe he could even close out the show as a comedian.
Right.
Just so people don't go off the air with that bad taste in their mouth.
Yes.
They get to laugh, and that would be nice.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to our first break, and then we're going to bring my buddy from Texas, retired NYPD, John Salerno on. We love him. We'll be back.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
All right. We are back.
Yeah, I said to Richie on the break, I said, boy, I'll say it just like I said. I said, we got some yucks up front. And you said,
it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. Hilarious. So we honored Jack Clooney. The freaking guy is sleeping when he's supposed to be on. You know, we got to feel bad for him because he had cancer. He recovered. He was in remission. The whole freaking bed. He's a nuts. Bring him out. Bring him out. We did the whole thing.
There he is.
Turn your phone.
Congratulations on
turn
such
your phone
a great
sideways.
milestone.
Turn the phone sideways. Can we turn your phone?
There you go.
There you go. You're not supposed to be
sound.
He's not supposed to be on the phone. He does the phone. He does whatever he wants because he struggled and he had remission.
I think he's at a carnival.
We don't hear you, which is not bad. We don't hear you. All right, you work on that. Bring out Salerno. Work on that. See if don't leave yet. No, don't leave yet. Where's Salerno? John.
I'm right here.
We hear you.
We're trying to honor this guy and show our respect, and he's our hero. Look at this mess.
I know. Look at him.
Did you ever meet Jack?
No, but I've watched him. I follow him. You know, and for such a young kid and not being able to get all the technology, like the basic things like sound,
yeah,
I don't know how he gets through life.
How do you and I know technology
He's
more than him?
amazing.
It's crazy.
He's amazing. He knows.
Yeah.
He's even got the thing in his ear.
He just gave us the finger. What was that? He just on the air. We're trying to.
No, 4.
Jack, we love you. We're proud of you. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. All right. Try to figure out the sound. We'll bring it back in later for a few minutes. All right. Don't go anywhere. All right. Jack Clooney. He's amazing.
Now we got a guy that knows his
everything about computers. And look at this guy. He's a
You know, he's a young kid. He probably doesn't get the Wi-Fi in mom's basement. It's a problem.
That's what's.
That's pretty much it. He is in mom's basement, I think. So how are you doing, my brother? John Solano, 99% Radio Network, badge of honor. He is one of my heroes. Retired NYPD.
Wow.
He's doing wonderful work out there in Texas. They chased him out of New York, but he's still doing wonderful work out in Texas. How are you, brother?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you guys? You know, I want to say I miss New York, but I don't miss New York. But I miss the guys.
I get you.
But you know, my heart bleeds for everybody in New York this past week. I mean, throughout the country, but especially New York.
Right.
You know, and looking at that wonderful backdrop you have behind you guys, you know, it brings back so many memories of, you know, the firehouse. You talked about it, letting the senior citizens in and standing with them and taking pictures with them like you did.
Yeah.
It's every firehouse is so great like that.
Well, now let me after I break your chops, let me tell people how wonderful you are. We're all busy on 9/11. Every day we're busy 9/11. This guy I called him. I don't know what time in the morning. I was
What, 5?
I was texting you at 5. We had an FDNY.
Tell them if you text me at 5.
No,
When do I get back to you?
Yeah, but when you get out of bed at 2:00, when your wife is telling you to get out of bed. So he calls me back at 7 in the morning, which was 5 his time.
Right.
But then again, he calls me while I'm on the way to this ceremony to say he loves me and that he's thinking of me. And my wife starts crying in the car. And my daughter's like, "Oh my God, that was so nice. That was so sweet." That's who this guy is.
Wow.
And that's why I love this guy. I brought him to Florida. We did comedy shows, not for his comedy, but because I love him. I love him. So how did the big race go? How did the stair climb go?
You know, again, it was every year it gets better. They knocked it out of the park. The Dallas 9/11 Stair Committee team does a wonderful job each and every year. They put, a full year of time and dedication into it, and they really bring it to the table when it comes to, the stair climb.
Yeah.
And every participant that was in there, even the SWAT officers made it all the way up the stairs, and it was a wonderful event. And I was so honored and proud to be part of it. This was my second year.
Pictures, John. Do the firefighters go up front, and a lot of them I know go up the stair climb in their gear, but there are other people that are behind them in like shorts and t-shirts, right?
Not many. Most of the everybody that I saw was wearing either their uniform, either if it's police, the SWAT officers were wearing their tack vests. Every firefighter most firefighters had packs on or were carrying the high-rise kit.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I think I'm beyond that now. If I would come out next year to do this stair climb, when you jump out of a plane and you're strapped.
I'll do it with you. If you do it, if you come out next year, I will walk the stairs with you.
Okay. You know when you jump out of a plane and you have that tandem where you're strapped to somebody? That's how I have to do the stair climb. I have to be trapped to a young stud
and pulled
who's
up,
carrying me on his back. No,
back to back.
We'll take our time.
But you know what, John? I was at the top of the stairs on 49, and I was as the guys were coming off the staircase, asking them how they were and what brought them. Because a lot of them were like, it was hot and they were sweating.
Texas.
They were only at 49 at this point. They still had another 12 and another 49 to go.
Right.
And each of them had a picture of a fallen hero on their thing. And I'm like, what keeps you going? And every one of them pulled that thing and says, this person right here keeps me going. this man, this woman keeps me going. And, you know, if they could do it on 9/11, I can do it in these conditions. And that was just so, you know, it's such a great way to show that what these guys went through on that day. You know, Chief Oreo making it up to what, 78th floor in extreme conditions. And all these other guys who went up and said, you know what, I may not make it down. And they gave up their Tuesday so thousands of others could have a Wednesday.
Right.
And that's the way I look at it, man.
Wow. That's,
and
it's
powerful.
powerful.
You know, there is nothing more. There is, you know, you got to be able to do it, man. You push yourself for those men and women that gave so much and gave it all. We can do that at least that one time a year. I will
definitely be though in shorts and a t-shirt. I'm not wearing my bunker gear. They don't need me collapsing on the steps during the Dallas stair climb. But
I'll walk with you. When they have a rope tow.
Could do that. Right. Yeah, they tie a rope to the top floor and pull me up. That would be good. John, hang out. I want to bring out, before we go to our commercial, so we're running a little late. We'll run a commercial. Let's bring out Mark Dublé. Mark Dublé. He was at the stair climb also. Yes, Mark?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
But Mark was born in Buffalo, New York.
Oh, yep.
That's not New York. You know that, Mark. That's not New York.
Hey, I claim it.
That's Canada. And then he moved to Texas, but he been a paramedic 15 years. Hero. Has done 8 Dallas stair climbs. Wow. And 3 Fort Worth stair climbs. He has done 345 consecutive 5Ks. I assume in memory of the guys that were lost on 9/11.
Wow.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Well, thank you for all that you've done.
Hey, John, let me tell you something. Yes. Last year we were on a cruise. We were on vacation, right?
Right.
I wake up 9 o'clock in the morning. It's raining out, right? Guess who's up on the top deck running for our heroes?
This guy.
Wow.
On a cruise, on vacation, never missed a beat.
Nice.
And he ran it. He ran the 5K on the cruise.
Now, were you able to see him from the buffet line?
He brought his plate up to the deck.
There he goes again. Honey, pass me the sausage. There he goes again. Well, thanks for all you do, my brother. How was the stair climb today? How did you do?
I'm sorry?
Did you do the stair climb on Monday?
I did.
Not Monday. It was
Tuesday.
No,
Monday or Tuesday? Monday.
Saturday,
right?
Saturday. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We did it.
No,
we did it eventually.
We had 3 days of the week left. So now, did they time you going up and down the stairs?
No, they just hope we get done before noon.
Before noon. I was telling somebody at the firehouse at 9/11, we did a race in Governor's Island one year, my wife, my daughters, and we didn't know it was a running race. We thought it was walk run.
Right.
So we're 10 minutes into the race, and that police car is following us, and he gets on the thing and he goes, "Can you please get on the sidewalk? Can you get off the streets?"
So do you elevated down or do you walk down?
Elevator down.
No, you don't.
Yeah, we do. We go. The original building we did. It was 55 floors, so we'd go up once, elevator down, and go all the way back up, just to make sure we cover 110 floors. Every climber has to do 110.
All right.
So to save the knees, they let us take an elevator down, but we do climb 110 floors.
Right.
But I will say this year, the real quick Dallas Stair Climb, the committee, they always do an outstanding job. Last minute, I think they had to find a new building for us to climb in.
Right.
And every year they put miracles together. But this year, Mother Nature was not on our side. We had triple-digit heat for like a month and a half, no rain whatsoever. Then the night before, we got rain. So humidity was 83% in that hallway or stairwell. Wow. So you have hundreds of guys and women, ladies in that stairwell trying to climb with 83% humidity, fully geared up, trying to breathe oxygen, and there is none. So my heart goes out to everybody that climbed that day. They earned it. Anybody that was their first year climbing, they have no idea what they were in for. It was impressive. Everybody, they kicked butt. It was amazing. So I have to hand it to all those guys and ladies.
I guess I'll save some of these questions for Jamie because when we bring
John,
Jamie in.
Before you do that, I just want to, in New York, do you guys know about the man with the red bandana?
The man with the red bandana. Yes, I've heard the story.
Okay. Mark enlightened me and educated me about this, and it really has become a passion of mine as well as Mark's. And Mark carries the red bandana. If you can give Mark a couple of minutes, just explain this, because this is a story that's worth telling.
Yeah, let's hear it.
So the 5Ks that you mentioned earlier, that was all sprung from the man in the red bandana. His name is Wells Remy Crowther. His dad was a volunteer in Nyack Fire Department, and he grew up with his dad in that fire service. And he went to high school, went to college, and started working in the towers as a trader. But when he was a kid, his dad handed him a bandana and told him, keep it in your pocket, always keep this with you. And he cherished that. So his dad always kept a blue bandana and he always kept a red bandana.
But the Bloods and the Crips.
Right. Exactly. Father and son. So needless to say, like I said, it's a very long story, but I'll make it short. When the towers hit, and everybody went in panic mode, Wells was working around the 78. I want to say the 80th floor, 80 something floor. But when the towers hit, the floor he was on was close to 78, and that's where everybody's waiting to take the elevators down. All the stairwells were knocked out except for one particular one, and Wells found it. And instead of just taking off, he started bringing people down. He carried a couple people down, but nobody knew that until after the fact. His mother and father, they kept trying to find out what happened to him. They got his remains back, and then his mom kept looking in the newspaper and started reading stories about the savior that rescued people, and all they would describe is this guy with piercing eyes and had a red bandana tied around his face.
Wow.
So the mom and dad, doing their due diligence, started researching it, investing it, found out that it was their son Wells. He had rescued people, took them down to the lobby, went right back up, started saving people, went back down, went right back up. And there's mixed numbers. Some say it was 12. Some say, I'd like to believe it was 18 because that's kind of the confirmed amount. He had gotten 18 people out, and while he's in the lobby with the fire, there's a fire lieutenant and 2 firefighters at headquarters right there. They are about to head up because he told them there's like 6 people trapped. I need help. And they're all going to head up and go rescue them. And that's when that tower fell. And they found Wells' body along with those firefighters in the stairwell right there. Wow. But when I heard that story, he's been an inspiration to me ever since. And
yes, I've heard that story. I have heard.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, he's a true hero, and he embodies what a firefighter is. And
hey, Mark, did you ever get in touch with his parents?
I've talked to his sister online. We've messaged back and forth. I told her what I was doing with the 5K. It was, she was blown away, and she's extremely kind. She wrote the book, The Man with the Red Bandana.
Okay.
I've sent her the news interviews that I did after my 5Ks. So I have reached out to them. There's a gentleman, Sunland Park, New Mexico, fire chief / fire marshal. He did 343 stair climbs over a 5-year period. He's the one who kind of inspired me to do the 5Ks because he and I, among thousands of others, believe in never forgetting. He inspired me to do those 5Ks, and he actually connected me to a lot of families of the 343. So they're actually friends of mine on Facebook now. So when I would do my 5Ks, they'd comment on them, and that touched my heart. That was the most emotional thing dealing with is
I would love to meet her if you can introduce me. I would love to meet her.
I can try and arrange that. Absolutely.
That'd be great. Maybe we can have her on.
I would love. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to do that.
All right. Thank you, guys. I know I'm cutting you a little short because we're running a little long because we were very funny up front. And
we had to allow time for the laugh.
So we're going to break, and then we're going to come back with Jamie Beck.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Hang out in the waiting room for a minute.
We'll stay in the waiting room.
Thanks, Mark.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that can save a child's life in a choking emergency.
All these people were saved with LifeVac.
People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child.
As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
And we're back with Laughter Saves Lives. Live! You kidding me?
Are you kidding?
Those were some great guests we just had, man.
Heroes.
True heroes. We're going to bring in Jamie Beck from the Dallas Stair Climb. Hello, Jamie.
Hi, guys.
Jamie, we always worry that our second guest, after watching the mess of the first half of the show, disappears. Like sometimes we come on, there's
nobody there.
There's nobody.
Yeah. Hey, if those two haven't run me off yet, I'm not going anywhere.
Jamie is brave. She's still here. Jamie, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been with the Stair Climb for 10 years, and I got recruited from the founder, John Barrett. And it's kind of a voluntold situation, which most of the planning committee is. We lock them up in a room and don't let them say no, and then they're stuck with us for a decade, like I've been. But it's been a real pleasure. And when I started with this climb, I was a firefighter reserve, and I had just had a back injury, so this was really helpful for me to recover emotionally and physically, and I'm very proud to be part of this.
When you say firefighter reserve, what actually is that?
Firefighter reserve. Some of our fire departments in North Texas are combination paid volunteer fire departments.
Sure, I'm familiar. Yeah. So a reserve means you're a volunteer?
Yes, exactly.
But you respond with the paid firefighters.
Yeah, just right alongside. No real differences other than kind of 100% grunt. The constant mule, always the one packing the bags.
Yeah, amazing. So now this Dallas Stair Climb, you join this organization that is running the event. Tell us some of the charities, because today when I was on the phone with you, you kept trying to hang up on me, but I kept trying to ask you to talk. Immediately they're like,
who?
On that note,
we don't need any.
On that note, my daughter was talking about educated people and that she likes, to go out on dates with some educated people. And I looked at her and I go, oh,
she didn't even know.
I'm an idiot, you know. So you've helped a number of different charities.
Yeah, absolutely. So every year we pick a beneficiary, and this year's beneficiary is the First Responders Children's Foundation. Wonderful. And it's a nonprofit organization that helps first responders and their families with financial and emotional needs as they need them. Nice. And they help to kind of collaborate the community as well. It's a nonprofit that's nationwide, so it's not just Texas specific.
Right. All right. So here's what. Because I'm just an idiot and I'm so busy and whatever.
Right.
All right. So Laughter Saves Lives is going to make a donation to that organization.
Excellent.
All right. But we would love to come out and do a show. Ooh. Right. Don't tell Salerno what the date we're doing the show, because he's probably going to show up then, right? But we want to come out.
Just don't make it at the top of those 55 stories.
Yeah. Don't make it up there, because Richie will never
on
make
ground
it.
level. Would be good.
Salerno's still listening. Oh, shoot, he's gonna know now. We would love to come out, work with John, work with you guys, and do a comedy show in memory of my guys and raise some money for that charity or another one you guys designate.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One of our largest sponsors is Four Corners Brewery in Dallas, and we would love to host a comedy night there, and
we'd have fun.
Invite the firefighters, invite the first responders, and see if we can make some fun out of it.
Do they have a room dedicated, or is it room open with a bar and TVs going, or
both? Actually, yeah. So they've got a large room, which is where we have what we call our Brotherhood Bash. It's after the event. So those that survive the event are welcome to come sit down and enjoy a beer with their fellow.
Another room.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. So there's a dedicated room for that, and then there's also a bar. They have an amazing menu.
All right, that sounds like a potential place to do it. That would be great.
Just no beer allowed at our gigs.
Yeah,
no beer.
No alcohol. What? We need somebody with 2 or 3 drinks.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Okay, so next year, you're probably already planning for next year, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely. So the planning season starts in March.
All right.
And from what I've just heard, we've got John Squared who's going to sign up to climb on June 1st at 8 a.m. Actually, 8 a.m. Central, 9 a.m. Eastern.
John, what did you call him? John Squared?
John Squared.
John Square?
Both of the Johns.
Oh, John Square. I get you. Oh, me? You're including me?
John Square. Yes.
Oh, I get it. All right, yes.
I have a question for Jamie.
If you're coming, you got to do the stair climb.
Yeah, I'll do it. I will do. I'm in shape. I walk 10,000 steps a day. Okay, so at what level do you say, wow, this might have been a bad idea?
Did you do the climb?
Like, she did the climb.
I've done the climb, and as a matter of fact, the committee members climb every year.
So is there any floor you get to and you're like, I can't go any further?
Absolutely. It's floor number 3 for me.
Did you say
yeah.
30?
It's about floor number 3, but you know what? Then just like Mark said, you got to remember why you're climbing, right? And then you get 110, and it's all worth it.
Wow.
And now how many climbers did you have?
So we've had 12 climbs. We started the climb in 2011 on the 10th anniversary. We did have to skip a year because of COVID. We actually planned the climb up until the city said we can't have people in proximity.
And how many climbed this year? How many people?
Over 400 participants. Yeah, that's inclusive of 343 firefighters, 70 law enforcement, and 9 EMS personnel.
Another silly question. Do they have to space it out because of the weight of all these people, or it's
the weight?
The weight.
No. I mean, as you can imagine, the stairwells they're equipped to handle everybody on that floor.
Right.
Oh, I got
But they have to space them out according to you have all these people starting at once. But I'm sure that you have the people who've done stair climbs and think they're going to win, so to speak. Is that a race? Is it a race?
It is not a race. It's just a memorial. So typically they start in single file fashion, and they'll spread each other out depending on how many breaks they take throughout the climb.
Excuse me, Jamie. Excuse me. I'm not educated.
That's okay. When you come out to participate, we'll let you know how it goes.
Okay,
you know, when I do the when I did the Tunnel to Tower, run, I'm walking in the back and running like I get my phone. So when I'm going on Facebook, I run for 10 seconds and look, I'm doing a race. I walk most of it, but I wait until the true runners are gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't want to be in front of them in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And that's probably what Solano and I will do in this thing is we'll wait till the end, and then we'll leisurely do our thing where they'll probably be closing the building. The security guy will be there.
I can picture John in that swing. They're pulling him up in the chair,
No,
he would.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take your time. I mean, how did everybody complete it that started it, or some people did not?
No. Everybody completes every year for the most part. Our goal is really to have a climb successfully to get them up to the top of the floor and get them back down safely. Sometimes it takes 1 hour, sometimes it takes 4. Usually we're
Did
done
you meet
about
Jennifer McNamara out there when she was out there?
Yes, she was great. Absolutely.
Good friend of mine, obviously.
Wow.
And Jack.
We've raised some money for them, the Johnny Mac Foundation. In fact, now I'm patting myself on the back. They honored me like 3 years ago at the golf outing. But the funny story is we had the highest score, my group. Pat Marone, Frank Fayel, 4 comics. We had the highest score. And Jen gave the award out. It was supposed to be to the lowest score. And she said, oh, my God, the winners are honoree John Ray. And I'm going, no. And you can see the daggers of the real golfers are like, these guys were idiots. The ball was all over the place. But we had a good time. She had good. You met a son also, Jack, I would assume, right?
Right, absolutely.
Jack climbing in memory of his dad. Great story. So we're going to try to be there at the climb next year, but let's get this comedy show. Let's start getting that working and get a date on the calendar.
Yeah, let's do it.
How much fun? Yeah.
Any other stories you want to give us from the event? Something else that touched you?
Yeah, I think just to kind of touch a little bit on what John and Mark both said, the climbers are wearing a name of a fallen first responder around their neck, and they're usually embracing this name, and it's giving them inspiration. And what they're really doing is they're finishing the climb for that person. And when they get to the top, it's an out of body experience.
Yes.
And honestly, and we live for that all year long. Again, we start in March. We have 30 members on the planning committee, over 200 volunteers, and we don't sleep pretty much the night before. It takes a lot to get that building going. And of course, the building that we climb in is a big component of all of this. So we're very, very appreciative of our sponsors, of all of the volunteers. Nobody's paid to do this. We all do it out of the kindness of our hearts.
Love it. Well, thanks for taking the time to come on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you. Yeah, we look forward to meeting you.
I've been out there. I did a show with John. I think we did a show. Did we, John? I know I came out. I was teaching out there because I'm very smart. I was teaching a class. Right. And then we went to Salerno's house
he's educated,
for the Super Bowl party. He invited me over after all the good stuff was gone, but he had a few wings, and we had a ball. So we look forward to coming back out.
Excellent. Yeah, thanks, guys.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Thanks for coming on. It's Jamie back from the Dallas Stair Climb. All right, so we're going to go to break, and we're going to bring in Darren Thompson, our comic.
Yeah, all right.
Zwanger Passeri has been delivering a true patient-centric experience for the past 70 years. You can always expect to be cared for with compassion, scanned on the latest technology, and a highly trained subspecialized radiologist to interpret your images.
All right.
We're back. We'd love to see Slice Live. Oh, my God. Oh, I beat you. Great guest so far. Guest so far. Darren's probably sitting there going, holy crap. Now he's going to bring me on. Let's bring out Darren.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Darren Thompson.
He's in the shower. He's in the shower at the house. Hey, Darren, how are you, buddy?
Hey, doing good. How are you doing?
We're doing great. Right. Excited that you are here. Darren was the headliner at the big show in Utah.
Whoa.
The big Laughter Saves Lives show in Utah the other night. Tell us a little bit about that. How did it go? You had fun?
Well, since I was a comedian in the show, I have to say it was amazing. The comedians were awesome. I just can't say enough about them and how they connected with the audience. No, it was a good show, and I really appreciate, I know myself and the other two comedians, we really appreciated you putting that together, John. It was a good time for everybody, and everybody did well. Everybody enjoyed it. I got to quote you here, though. You said something at the beginning of the show, John, that's inspiring to all comedians. You said, you don't need laughs all the time when you're a comedian. Oh, when you're doing comedy. So,
I was only referring to myself because I want to justify when I'm on stage and I don't get some laughs. It doesn't always like when you go to work. At McDonald's, do you always have to make a good burger? Some of them you don't make perfectly.
Well, no, they're pretty perfect every time. Darren, see, I strive for the laughter. But John's such a great guy. They love him. Like, you know what it is? No one's ever walking out of a show going, what a nice guy. We all go, you were hysterical. You were brilliant. We loved you.
They stroked me left and right.
What a nice guy.
What a nice guy.
I always
Not funny, but nice.
Yeah. Well, that's true. You don't need laughs all the time when you're doing comedy. How inspiring.
That's
I like it. No, it's good. On this show I did, I told a joke that was pure groans throughout the whole. It was like everybody at the same time just groaned. It was amazing, and I really appreciate that inspiring quote. I'll let you hear the joke.
Hear it, please.
Here's what it was. It was I said yesterday I was watching a documentary on this tribe of Indians in the Amazon jungle, and they'd never seen civilization before, and a plastic sack blew into their village, and they thought it came from the gods. So it showed them bowing down to the sack, rubbing the sack for good luck, lighting candles around the sack. But about the time they started praying to the sack, I changed the channel. I don't want to watch people being sacrilegious. Groan.
Groans,
Just groans throughout. And you think I'd get rid of
that one?
I can relate.
You think I'd get rid of that joke, but you know what?
No, leave it in there. Leave it in there. It makes the other comics look better. You leave it in there.
You know, I saw a show, Darren, that John was at, and a guy comes up to him after the show and said, "Hey, I thought you were funny," and that means so much to him.
It meant so much to me. So much.
So whatever. So how else?
One more thing before you get into some shtick. Tell the audience a little bit about your background. Where do you work during the day, or did you work?
I'm an occupational therapist. I work at a nonprofit hospital doing occupational therapy. I'm on a rehabilitation team. It's me, physical therapy, and speech therapy. And we work with patients that have been injured, help them with recovery, people that have had strokes, heart attacks, traumatic brain injuries, you name it. We try to get them from where they are and get them back home and independent, taking care of themselves. So it's
excellent.
Nice. That's beautiful.
And I always say this, and I don't need to embarrass you or be personal, but I know you're doing that job not for the money. You're not living in the big house with the fancy car.
The money's nice.
What I'm saying is,
look.
The fancy. I got the fancy curtains, so it's hard to pretend I'm not wealthy when you got a backdrop like that. You know.
Thank you for what you do.
Hey, I shop Dollar General, don't you? Every now and then.
Oh yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
People assume those are real flowers. They're not. They're not. You know.
So, what is some of the stuff you talked about? What's some of your shtick that you did the other night?
Well, well, speaking of these flowers, my wife bought these curtains because she said it adds color. And it definitely does that. Like you say, it looks like we have a shower in our living room, but or in our kitchen.
Your wife listening right now? Is she watching?
No, she's not here. So I can do 50% more comedy when my wife's not around. I don't know if you guys experience that.
Does your wife not find, like my wife, there's not a lot of laughter. Like she doesn't find me funny.
Well, at least in the morning when he's slobbering, sleeping, and she's working. You know, she doesn't find that amusing.
Yeah.
When I first started doing comedy, my wife, I had a book I wrote all my jokes in, and she would go through that and critique it and cross out jokes. She's like, "Oh, poop jokes, you can't do that." And she's just crossing out all these jokes, and I'm like, "Patty, you got to leave something for me." And finally, I just decided to.
Big.
Yeah.
Go. I'm sorry.
No, it was good. No, and I was doing well, but finally, I decided I needed my freedom. And she finally said, "Okay, do whatever jokes you want. See if I care." And so I started doing all those jokes she crossed out, and they bombed. They're horrible. I came home, and she's like, "They didn't go well, did they?" I'm like, "Yeah, they went great. I did good." So, anyways, I listen to my wife now. Wives are smart.
Yeah,
we've been married 27. We just celebrated our 27th wedding anniversary. Yeah. We met in college. I was a dishwasher at the campus cafeteria, and she'd just come up to that little window where you hand the trays in, and she would just talk to me. Some women want to marry a doctor, a lawyer, a famous athlete. Not my wife, no. She just wanted a man who could wash dishes.
Wow, yeah.
Nice.
At a professional level, you guys.
Yeah.
Listen, and just tell your wife that I'm not cutting out my poop jokes. That's half my act, right?
Yeah.
Right.
You keep those jokes. No, when my wife and when we got married, and I said I do, all my wife heard me say was, "I do dishes." So the secret to a good marriage, take your wife out on fancy restaurants. I took my wife to a really elegant restaurant the other night. I believe it's pronounced Denny's. It's nice. It's a sit-down restaurant, you know.
Oh, one of those.
I don't know if you guys have eaten at a place called Denny's, but weird people eat there. I overheard the lady in the booth next to us placing her order, and I kid you not, this is what she said. She goes, "I would like 2 chicken strips and a Caesar salad." That is a dangerous salad. What does a Caesar salad look like? A plate of romaine lettuce with a strobe light in the middle, just flashing away. I'm just saying, if I was taking, I work in the hospital, so but if I was taking somebody's order and they asked for a Caesar salad, I'd have to say, "Ma'am, would you like the petite mall or the grand mall?" They're just both so good.
I'll pass on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my wife and I, we were eating at Denny's the other day, and My wife's like, she's like, I hate having to carry a purse everywhere. And I was like, well, Patty, why don't you use a wallet like guys do? And she goes, Darren, have you ever tried to fit several heavy-duty maxi pads in a wallet before? No, I haven't. But maybe I should. It would make me look rich. That's one fat wallet. That's what I'm saying.
I have one of those wallets.
Yeah, you got one of those.
Like George Costanza.
Yeah.
George Costanza's wallet.
I'm going to top both of you. Watch this. I have so much junk. I have two wallets. Garbage. I have 2 wallets.
No, 2 wallets is good. If you ever fall down on your backside, you're going to be okay. Not going to feel a thing.
Well, you know what it is? I like this one's like, so I have to sit like this if I didn't have
I take it
the
out.
other wallet. So it levels me off.
My dad has 2 wallets. One of them, if somebody's going to steal a wallet, he has that one more accessible, so they'll grab that wallet, and he still has his real wallet somewhere else. That's thinking. That's thinking.
That's good.
Yeah. So my wife, by the way, speaking of wives, my wife said I screamed in my sleep last night. Okay, I was having this weird dream that I was in a public place, and all of a sudden I realized I was completely naked. Raise your hand if you've had the same dream before about me being naked. Yeah, right. Thanks, Rich. It's good to know I have at least one fan.
I saw you on that last show ever since.
Yeah. No, my wife and I, we just moved into a house that has 2 bathrooms, and there's just a wall dividing them. And sometimes we're both using the bathrooms at the same time. And when this happens, I'll just lovingly reach over and knock on the wall.
Nice.
And she'll knock back. After 27 years of marriage, you guys, that is romance.
Yes, it is.
We have our own Game of Thrones. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Go ahead. I was going to interrupt you.
No, go ahead, interrupt.
What town are you from? You're in
now.
Right now, I live in a town called Roy, Utah. It's about 25 miles north of Salt Lake.
Is there a big comedy scene in Utah?
Salt Lake City has a pretty decent comedy scene. Yeah, it's pretty big. They have a comedy club there called Wise Guys, and they have several open mics and lots of shows. So, yeah.
Wow.
Would you like to go to Salt Lake too?
Yeah, let's do Salt Lake. So is it like we do on Long Island? We have like a lot of fire departments. We have lodges to draw from, theaters, things like that. Same thing in Salt Lake?
Other than the comedy clubs, private shows.
Yeah, there's a few bars that'll put on shows, and there's a few other open mics. And there's a show here and there. You can, Elks Club.
Like Moose Lodges or VFW.
Yeah, Moose, Elks.
They all have.
There's definitely opportunity there. And
yeah. Good. And the 2 ladies on the show, they Cheyenne and I'm going blank.
Jordan.
So sweet.
Now you've worked with them before?
Yeah, I've worked with Cheyenne a few times, and Jordan I was familiar with from the club. You know, she's a nurse. She works in the hospital. She's a delivery nurse, delivers babies. So she had some funny stories, some good jokes that everybody just loved her.
Oh, that's hysterical.
That goes with the Laughter Saves Lives theme.
Yeah,
we got some heroes on the show, Darren and Jordan. So
yeah, she was great. She pulled everybody in, and I like comedy. I actually want to start. I actually want to make a reality TV show because I love reality shows. I want to make one where you have surprise baby showers for people you think are pregnant.
I love that idea.
Isn't that good?
Darren, that is hysterical.
So good. So after I said that at the show, and a guy came up to me and his wife. They're like, "We love that idea. We would watch that show, and we got a name for you. We think you should call it Maybe Baby."
Oh, that's perfect.
Yes.
Usually you get bad advice from your audience members, but this one was like, dang,
that's a good.
How did I not see that? That's great. Maybe,
all right.
baby.
We are, Bobby, we are on this clock, right? So we're counting down on this clock.
Okay.
Right? All right. So we got a few seconds. Darren, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me at Wise Guys in Salt Lake City. You can also find me on DarrenThompsonComedy.com. And
All right.
We will look for you.
Darren, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you.
Very funny. Very funny. Thank you,
We
Darren.
will be in touch. We want to come to Salt Lake City. Richie and I, both our wives want us to get out of the house more.
Yeah.
So we will be out there. Thank you to Jack Clooney. And thank you to Salerno, as always. Jamie Beck and Dublé.
Mark
Dublé.
Yes.
Good night, everybody. We're
Good night.
going
Thank
to the
you.
diner. Take care.
Thanks.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. He's chasing the beer that circle the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.